My name is Mad Skills, and you are now tuned into the Spark Something podcast. And right here, I want you guys to be the best version of yourself. I want you to live out the life that God is calling you to live out, because there'll never be another you. And no one else can do it the way that you can do it. Not with the flavor God has given you. So with that being said, welcome to the show. Let's go.
My name is Camille S. Daly, founder and CEO of CSD Creations, Creative Sublime Designs. What do you want your audience to know about your business at first glance? How we show up visually is impactful and is proven that consistent, cohesive, high-quality graphics leaves a mark in the minds of your customer. How do you want to make your customer feel? Branding is more than the visual standards, but also the overall experience your company provides. Together, we can dive in and ensure that we will achieve your all-encompassing branding goals. Services include logo creation, print media such as signage, brochures, flyers, digital media such as graphics for ads, social media, and simple animations, website building and management utilizing the Squarespace platform, and consulting for branding, strategizing, and customer experience. So what are you waiting for? Connect with me today at csdcreations.co.
So, I want to start off this episode by saying you are enough. Regardless of what anybody has ever said. And I've said this before. No matter what anybody has said, what anybody has told you, how anybody feels about you, you are enough. I think I got to a certain point in my life, and it might have been when I hit 30. No, 28 was like an awakening for me. 29, it got intense. 30 though, 30 hit me in the face, and it hit me hard. And I don't mean like, dang, I'm 30. I mean like, yo, what have I done with my time here? I started reevaluating how I spent my time. I started reevaluating who I spent my time with. I started reevaluating what I was doing with my life. I don't want to necessarily call it like a midlife crisis, but I was having one of those moments to where I was like, I've wasted so much time here. And I haven't centered myself and figured out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And I was literally trying to move and figure things out while still holding on to the old. Still trying to carry everything, because I felt like even though I spent my life trying to figure out what I did with the time that I had at the time that I was here, I never let go of a lot of these things that were weighing me down. A lot of the moments where I felt inadequate, a lot of the moments where I felt like I wasn't good enough, a lot of the moments where I felt like I can't do this. I didn't lay that down. I held on to it. Because, and it might sound crazy to some, and some people might get it. It became a part of me. Even though I'm going against the grain and I'm like, yo, you got this. You're enough. You can do this. I'm not realizing that I am fighting a battle with myself. I grew up not, and I talked about this episode 6, episode 7, growing up, not really having people really pour that type of love and affection into me, not knowing what that felt like for people to speak life into me. I was not aware that that was a thing. But I let the world and I let people around me influence me into believing that I had to do something. I had to overexert myself in order for me to feel like I was supposed to be here. I never felt like I was supposed to be here. That's probably why at 19, I was ready to end my life. I was ready to go. I was done. At 19, I'm 31 now. Just looking back, at 19, I was young. I was hurt. I was broken, confused, not sure of what the heck was happening at that moment in my life. But at 19, y'all, I was ready to go. And then I look back over my life from 19 to 31, and I'm like, I've met so many amazing people along the way. I've shared my testimony, my story. I've been able to speak in front of crowds. I've been able to rap and minister and dance and do poetry in front of people that I probably will never see again. I've met friends. I've lost friends. I've broken some family ties. It's been a lot of things that I have done from 19 till now. I was ready to die. I was over it. I was over it. And that's because I had exerted all of my energy trying to fit in, trying to appeal to a certain group of people, trying to get people to see me. I could literally disappear in a crowded room. Like, yeah, I had people that loved me, people that cared about me, but I felt empty. And not just empty, I felt lost and confused. In my 20s, it's probably the worst, the worst time of my life. I'm just now beginning to live in peace. And in living in peace now in my 30s, I'll say it like this, because it's a decision that we have to make every single day. But I have to make the decision to realize that I no longer live back there. Like, that's no longer my reality at 19. That's no longer my reality at 20, 21, 22, at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14-year-old me. When I lost my mother, that is no longer my reality at 31. Brokenness is no longer my reality. I'm enough now. My reality is, yes, my mother is gone. I held on to memories and thoughts and everything so close to the point to where I was ready to go see her on the other side. I was ready, and I was ready to do it myself. Not understanding that the life that God has given me on this side, there are going to be people that are just like me. If not people that are going to understand my story and understand where I'm coming from, and they are going to need to see that somebody made it, that somebody didn't quit, that somebody didn't give up. I didn't know that somebody was going to be me. Not at 19, y'all. Not at 18, not at 16 or 17 or 20 or 21. I did not know that that somebody could be me. It's tough. It's tough. I have moments to where I don't have those moments to where it gets dark anymore, to where I feel like I don't want to be here, but I have moments of inadequacy a lot. And in those moments of inadequacy, I've learned to be vocal. and speak against it. I talked about that in the episode previous to this one, I believe, if not the last one, then the one before it, but I talked about it. Open your mouth and begin to speak what it is that you want to see. And don't just speak it, but begin to go to war and go to work. And by going to war, I mean going to work and trusting and standing on the principles of who God is and what He has called you to do and who He says that you are. If you are here, there is a purpose, there is a reason. God could have created you in any point in time, but He has chosen you to be right here in this season. Season's changing, guys. It's changing, but God is calling you to be right here in this season. I don't care who says what or who has said what about you or how they feel. When those things that people say and those thoughts that people have towards you begin to penetrate your heart, that is when it gets inside of you. When you begin to believe what the other people are saying about you, that is when it begins to take hold. But it won't take hold unless you believe it. And that goes back the other way. If you want people to believe in what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're trying to do, what you're working on, what God has said about you or what God is doing in if you want people to believe you and in you, you have to believe it first. That believing it first works both ways. It works both ways. You can influence others by believing in yourself first and them seeing that you believe enough in you to where you are not stopping regardless of what they have to say. Eventually, those same people that talked about you to others will talk about you to others. And what I mean by that is those same people that had something negative to say and talked nasty about you to others will then talk to others about how they know you, how they related to you, how they knew your mom and them. Yeah, yeah. But it all starts with you, believing in you first. If you believe in you enough to start making something shake, to start doing some things, believe in God for what He said was yours and what He said you can have, eventually you don't even notice the naysayers. You don't even notice those people on the outside looking in. You don't even notice. It don't even matter. The words they speak, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't. So, what you gonna do? I think that's a fair question. What are you gonna do? You still got time. With the time that you have, what are you gonna do? When I say the Spark Something podcast, I literally mean the flame that is in you that God put there before you were even formed in your mother's womb. When He said He knew you, He knew what He placed inside of you. And He also knew at some point, because you had to go through some stuff in order to get here. We all had to go through some stuff in order. I had to reach 19 in order for me to make it to 31. You had to go through some stuff to get here. I wasn't talking like this at 19. I wasn't encouraging myself and speaking life into myself at 19. I was ready to go at 19. So somebody else is 19 right now. Somebody else is 19 or somebody else is may not be my 19. But somebody else's moment in their life where they feel like they have nothing else. They don't believe in themselves. They don't think that they can do this. That might be their 19. What I mean by that is that might be their moment. Because that's how I felt at my moment. My moment was 19. That might be their moment. And I'm just saying 19 because that was the moment where I was ready to go. But that whole span of time, from the time I lost my mother up until just a couple years ago, bro, I've been fighting this war of feeling like they will love me if I do this. They will care about me if I do this. They will accept me if I do this. They won't see my broken pieces. I won't show them that. And if I don't show them my broken pieces, they will love me long time. Long time. Long, 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 long time. But I'm realizing that I needed to be honest with where I was at to God. Because there's no way that I'm going to be able to get to that next level carrying all of this stuff. There's no room for more. I'm just stuffing it down. Oh, put the goodness on top of all of this. Like, no, take that stuff out. Take it out. Take it out the bag. Take all of it. Just take that stuff out of there. And the crazy part about it is I can say take that stuff out, but it is going to take you some time to start emptying out your luggage. Story time. I remember when I first moved in with my cousin Carmen, who is a blessing, who eventually will be on the show. Because we got some stuff that we definitely have to talk about with you guys. But I remember when I first moved in with my cousin Carmen and her husband and her kids. I had been living with my cousin for I don't know how long. But anytime I wanted to go out or do anything, I had my bags in the closet just to get them out of the way. So anytime wanted to go somewhere or was leaving to go somewhere, I would have to take out all of my stuff out of my luggage, my suitcases, because I had been living in my suitcases going from place to place to place because I didn't know how long I would stay at certain places. This was, listen, listen. It was a revelation for me. It's still revelation for me. I don't know. It might resonate with somebody else, but I was literally living out of my luggage. I was living out of suitcases. That was all I had. Everything that I had was in these two bags. One was bigger than the other, but everything I had was in these two bags. All my clothes, all my shoes in these two bags. Rolly bags at that. And that was it. That's all I had. So whenever I wanted to go somewhere, I would go in the closet and I would take out almost everything to find something that matched. But mind you, my suitcases are in a closet. This closet has room for me to hang stuff up. I haven't hung up a thing. Everything is in my luggage. Shoes, clothes, all of that in these bags. I remember my cousin walked by and she was like, yo, you can unpack if you want. I said, cousin, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't unpacked in years. Because I don't know how long I'm actually going to stay here. So before I have to move, get put out, somebody's telling me that I can't stay here anymore and I gotta go, it's easier and quicker for me to just grab my bags than it would be for me to start taking stuff off the hanger and putting it away. She's like, you're good here, you're safe. I hadn't heard that in a long time, guys. I hadn't heard that I was safe in a place in a long time. And I didn't know how to respond. Didn't know how to respond, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. And I was like, oh, okay. And I still didn't unpack. I still didn't unpack. And I didn't unpack because Even though those words were spoken that one time, we're talking about years, years of living like this. And I knew that I was loved and I was cared about. But there was a point in time to where I had to go through this process of unpacking. And not just my physical clothes, because that closet where my clothes was in that bag, that was how my life was at one point in time. Everything just in this one spot, just in case it's time for me to go. I'm sliding. I'm gone. And I didn't realize that I hadn't unpacked. So God is I'm trying to get to the next level of my life, and God is like, we're gonna stay right here, and we're going to unpack. But this time, God didn't allow me to unpack my life alone. He unpacked it with me. He didn't allow me to unpack my life alone. He brought some people along the journey with me to help me unpack. Man, this is all God right now, because I'm not gonna lie. I got my headphones in and I'm listening to some worship music as I'm speaking. So I'm just going off of what God has given me. But he allowed people to come on this journey with me to help me unpack. And not my clothes, but my life. He showed me people that genuinely were people that were his people to help me unpack. In places and areas and spaces where I was missing these things, or I needed this, or I hungered for this. God is like, let me help you unpack. Because you've spent so much of your time trying to look a certain way, trying to act a certain way, trying to compose yourself, and you've never fully been you. And you still looking for you. And that's okay. But let me help you unpack, God said. Whew. Let me help you unpack. He's been helping me unpack. He done brought some people in my life to help me unpack. I done have people leave my life that's also helping me unpack. Because we tend to have this thought process that it's going to look a certain way, that it's supposed to look a certain way. God's ways aren't ours. His thoughts aren't ours. The way he does things is it's not going to be like, okay, I can see this coming a mile away. God will literally take a left at the light. He'd be like, wait a minute now. You gonna let him drive, or are you trying to take the wheel now? Which one is it? Because if you're gonna fully give up your life, which is what I did, you're gonna fully surrender your life to his. I don't make perfect decisions all the time. Sometimes I wrestle against this stuff. But I know if it wasn't for God that I would not be here. Because at 19, y'all, I was ready. I was ready to get out of here. I didn't know that my life had purpose. I didn't know that it had meaning. I didn't know that I was this person. I didn't know that I was her. And I'm still figuring out who she is. But God is helping me unpack. He's helping me unpack. Yeah. And while I'm unpacking and all of my brokenness, and we can go back to the suitcases, all my drawers and my shirts and my bras and socks and shoes and pants and all of this stuff. In all of your mess, when everything is everywhere, God still calls you chosen. He still says, you were mine and I am yours. I still called you to this place, to these people. I'm still calling you to speak what I'm giving you to say. Let me help you unpack. Because when I take you to the next thing, because while you're unpacking, you're still moving. You're still moving. And then there's a time where God will have you sit right here in a moment for a minute and walk with you as you go through a process of healing and dealing with certain sections and moments of your life that you probably wouldn't have even knew were there, but somebody or something came along and it triggered it. And God's like, that right there. Yep, that right there. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you. So now that you know it's here, I know it's here. What you want to do with that? That right there, I can use that. But it's up to you. So God is helping me unpack on my journey. And it's been it's been a journey. It's been tough. It's not easy. You thought episode 6 was just the beginning. We're on episode 20, 22 now? God said, that's what he told me, let me help you unpack. Because there's more that he wants to give us, but we've been trying to come to him burdened. We've been trying to come to him with all of our stuff, all of our bags full. God said, take this out, take this out. Like, I got stuff I want to put in there, and I guarantee you it's for your good. But that brokenness that you have, that unforgiveness that you have, those bad habits that you have, that those moments of you not having peace, that dysfunction that you have, those triggers that you have, that childhood trauma that you have, that bad mouth that you have, because don't cut me off in traffic, that bad mouth that you have, those negative thoughts that you have, the things that you sometimes think towards people, how you treat people. Give me that too. All of that. I have something for you, but I need you to give up the things that you are holding on to, that need to be in control. Let me have that. I got you. I got you. Let me have that. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Big shout out to Pastor McKenzie for that. I honestly just wanted to just talk to you guys about where I'm at right now, what's been going on, how I've been dealing and going through the process that God has me on right now, because it's a journey, and I'm thankful for every single step, because the person that I was versus the person that I am now, I'm grateful. And it's weird sometimes, or should I say I'm going to stop saying it's weird. It's unfamiliar territory. And in this unfamiliar territory, it gets weird. But God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much for another opportunity. Thank you guys so much for lending me your ears. Thank you guys so much for just continuing to share, like, comment, subscribe. I'm thankful, grateful, and I'm very, very appreciative to each and every one of you guys. Continue to share this with other people and just let them know that the Spark Something podcast is all about you being the best version of yourself and you living out purpose and becoming who God is calling you to be. And I don't mean who the world wants you to be, or who your parents want you to be, or who your family thinks you are, or even your friends. This is literally you walking out the purpose for the time that you have here on this earth. I'm all about you being a whole person while you're doing it. I don't have all the answers. I'm literally talking to God, and whatever he gives me, I give to you guys. And the things that I go through in this life, in the time that I have here. I just want to be able to leave something for anybody if anything ever happens to me. I pray that you guys are blessed by this episode. Continue to support and stay blessed. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please, 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 if you ever want to just talk, reach out. All my information is going to be in the description. Um, Links in the bio, all that good stuff. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. This has been another episode of the Spark Something podcast. This has been your girl, Mad Skills. And I hope this sparks something in your life. And I'm out. Peace, baby. Remember, you are enough. No matter what anybody says.